Hi, everybody. Don't hit me with it. Oh, it was you. Okay.
Sorry.
Well, we had, as you know, a meeting. I don't know exactly how long it lasted. The better part of an hour, a little more. I don't really know. We talked about various things. No new proposals were made. They were not expected to be made. We had hoped to engage them in a discussion about the player contracting issues that are so important to the players. At least tonight, they were unwilling to do that. We're going to go back to the office and consider where we are, talk to a number of other players, obviously, as you might expect, and we'll be in touch with them in the morning.
Do you expect to meet again tonight?
Certainly a good possibility of it. I think it's probably more likely than not, yes.
When you say unwilling, did they not want to engage in the conversation at all, or were they, I guess, unwilling to hear new ideas about?
No, we wanted to. Our position all along has been on the player contracting issues that they become considerably more important to players as the cap becomes limited, and that we'd made proposals in a couple of areas in this regard which moved towards them, but we wanted to talk about the rest of these to see where we were, and we'd indicated to them last time we met and again today that if we put aside for the moment the effect of the lockout on revenues, we didn't think we were too far apart on the share, and if that was right, we could back into a discussion on the revenues, but we wanted to know where we were on the player contracting stuff first, and they were unwilling to do that, at least tonight. But we're going to think about what was said, and we'll consider what to do next.
Did you discuss core economics today then with them? Or?
Well, player contracting is part of core economics, and there was a discussion about the share, yes, so sure.
You said there were proposals?
No, there were not.
There were not, but you didn't.
There were not. We fleshed out a proposal we'd previously made before to address an issue they'd raised about what they call the backdiving contracts.
Okay, can you elaborate on that a little bit, or?
Oh, sure. What essentially that proposal was, and this has previously been known, but what essentially that proposal was, is if you have a contract in which the player doesn't play the last 2 years, let's say, of a 9 or a 10-year contract, and the team has received a benefit in terms of its cap charge because those years were averaged in and they were low years, that what you do is you recalculate it, and the club has that cap hit over the remaining term of the contract or a longer period that would mimic buyouts. It keeps it a perfect zero-sum game.
I feel like tonight's conversation will push you towards kind of making a new proposal.
I'm out of the prediction business. Not going to comment yet. We have some internal discussion to have tonight.
What prompted the players to ask for a meeting and to come with such a big group?
It's really, well, I think two things. To back into the other one first, players are very interested. And we tell anybody that wants to come, they can come. And I'm glad to have all of them. So I think it's a reflection of how interested and involved the players are. That's first. Secondly, we could have taken a couple of weeks off, I suppose. It's hard for me to see how you make an agreement if you aren't talking. And so you talk. And sometimes it doesn't lead anywhere. Perhaps very often it doesn't lead anywhere. But if you aren't talking, it's 100% sure it doesn't lead anywhere.
Has the level of interest or the interest from certain groups of players changed or shifted as this has gone on?
No, players have been very interested from well before this process started.
It just seems to be a few more veteran guys, more guys on long-term deals in tonight's party, but is that just...
Oh, well, there have been more before. There have been more at meetings and all the rest of it.
Where do you go from here?
Back to the office, 4 blocks.
You're not seeing, I guess, a huge willingness to budge on the...
No, this happens in bargaining. What we're going to do is consider where we are and determine what to do next. I'm just not going to comment about that further.
If they were unwilling to address the contracting issues
tonight
prior to the revenue discussion, then did you move towards the revenue discussion though? And then
I'm not going to comment. I'm not going to comment further on what we talked about tonight. Said everything I could say.
Do you feel
they're willing to at least meet you? I mean, are they interested in having this meeting tonight? Because they were the ones.
They were willing to have the meeting if we said we wanted to meet. That's about as far as I can go.
Do you feel that the next couple of days are critical in any shape or form?
I'm not. There's no way I can say. All I can tell you is what I have before. You try and figure out every day how to do it. You keep at it.
Will the holiday this
right,
week
thanks.
impact what you guys do, or are you willing to meet through the week?
Don't know. I mean, the holiday's a holiday, but if there's a reason to meet, we'll be prepared to do that. Thanks.
Thanks,